everyone, how's it going? Dyer here. And I want to start off by saying I hope everyone had a great Halloween. I know mine was great. I mean, I sat at home, fell asleep, woke up, and I played some video games while all of my friends were out partying. So, yeah. I think I had the better time in that situation, but yeah, anyways, it's not often I talk about video games or gaming or what's going on because you guys kind of just think I only play TF2 and like I don't spread out from there. And well, that might be mostly true. I do like to dive into other games every now and then. And sometimes there's just too much bullshit going on for me to keep quiet about it. So, that being said, let's get going. Ubisoft, you know, makers of Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, all those games that we do actually love, they're really fucking us over right now. Ubisoft wants to claim that 30 FPS is better than 60 FPS, and it provides a more cinematic feel. See, the problem with that is they're not saying that because they truly believe that. They're saying that because they can't outright say that the consoles cannot support 60 FPS because they are too damn weak. And what does that say about gaming? Well, if Ubisoft can get bullied by Microsoft or Sony, then this is not going to be good for us at all. The way I see it is, Ubisoft had to think of a way to get gamers off their back about this. Besides, and not even being 1080p either, it's also locked at 30 FPS. So, I'm assuming Microsoft's at the point of this because I do believe the Xbox One is the weaker console. And that being said, it couldn't run at 1080p or 60 FPS at 900p. Therefore, they had to lock the PS4 at 900p because I'm guessing Microsoft paid them to do so. And how fucked up is that? But that's just the beginning of it. It provides a more cinematic feel. Now let me think that through for a second. When you're playing a game, isn't the goal of the game, one of the main goals of the game, to provide an immersive feeling? Almost like you're there, almost like you're getting drawn into something. Like you are playing the character. You are the character, right? Well, yeah. How the fuck am I gonna do that when I'm seeing things in a fucking slideshow is what I wanna know. The problem with this is nobody wants to play at 30 FPS. They said 60 FPS is better for action games and shooters or something like that, but I'm pretty sure Assassin's Creed falls under that category. And the worst part of all this is, what if they end up locking it at 30 FPS on PC? How terrible would that be? See, we're over here already trying to push 144 plus frames out on our fancy monitors, and there's companies like Bethesda already locking us at 30 FPS. Another example is Evil Within. While that actually might be a good game, I personally wouldn't play it because I pay all this money to have a good computer that I can play games at frames that consoles can't handle. Why would I buy a game where I'm locked at 30 frames per second? That is beyond ridiculous in my opinion, and really us PC gamers are getting the short end of the stick, big time. Back to Ubisoft and their horrible marketing attempts. Far Cry 4. I was totally determined to get Far Cry 4. But, that being said, it was soon announced that there was going to be Day 1 DLC if you pre-ordered it. And that is total bullshit. Seriously? Day 1 DLC? And in that DLC is going to be the multiplayer mode. So you're telling me in order to play multiplayer of your game, I'm going to have to pre-order it? Or maybe even buy it afterwards? That is ridiculous. So maybe soon we'll see games like Battlefield where you pay $60 for the game, You pay $30 for the add-on multiplayer, and then you pay another $60 so you can get all the maps down the road. Man, you gotta love this marketing. And the problem with it is, it's not gonna stop unless we stop buying these games. And that's hard. That is super hard, because how can you tell everyone around the world or convince them not to buy their favorite games so we don't get fucked over in the future? That is really the problem we're at right now. I know I'm not going to buy Far Cry 4 at launch, that's for certain. I'm probably not going to buy Unity at launch, or really any Ubisoft game for the matter. And I just really don't know. This is setting a really bad example for other game developers, and they're going to think this is okay to do, and the fact of the matter is it's not, and we need to step up and take a stand and just stop this bullshit before it becomes the norm. I was reading an article the other day where it said developers of Battlefield Hardline said they promised that their game would work at launch. Yes, they promised their game would work at launch. Since when did it become a thing to promise that? I always believed that a game, should work at launch. It's really just kind of disgusting how this is going on. That there's some sort of, it's like, I don't even know, it's like a bonus that the game I paid $60 for is actually gonna work. Wow, that's amazing. That is the state of gaming we live in right now. There's just so much going on in gaming that is so wrong in so many ways. And it's even coming from developers that we thought we could trust, aka Bungie. I'm gonna be quite honest, I haven't played Destiny. Actually, well, I kinda have, but I haven't sat down and played through the story. But what it appears is the game's just not finished. There's no even story, really. We spend all this money, or they spend all this money into developing a game, but you don't see where it goes. I mean, the graphics are nice. I mean, I don't know. I kind of expect games this day and age to have nice graphics, but the story's not there. There's more than likely probably DLC already on the disc, just waiting to be unlocked. And if this is a move by another shitty publisher such as Activision, then who knows, but it really just is terrible that we pay this much money for a game, and we end up having to pay probably over double that in the long run for all the DLC if we do buy the rest of it. It's disappointing to say the least, and I'm even a victim of my own hypocrisy, really. I mean, see, here I'm playing Battlefield and Titanfall, and well, I did get Titanfall for free, and I did get Battlefield and everything for a really low price. I really am supporting these people in one way or another. Even if it's not fully, I am guilty for this. This really just demonstrates how hard it is to convince people not to buy their favorite games and not to support these companies. So really, we're just all around losing right now, and this isn't going to change for a while, I see. And I'm kind of afraid to see what's going to happen in a few years, what's going to become the norm, and how much these consoles are going to hold gaming back. I have nothing against console players. I honestly just feel bad for them because they are truly getting the short end of the stick because of console parity. And if you're not for sure what console parity is, I'm going to try to explain it real quick. Because one console is slower, then it's going to make the faster console play at the same settings as the slower console. And that just screws over both sides. Because the people who got screwed by buying the Xbox One, aka the slower console, are screwed in that sense because they bought the slower console, and the people who bought the PS4 are screwed in the sense that they bought the more powerful console, but they have to play at the slower console settings. It's honestly just a giant clusterfuck. And beyond that, the consoles are already behind in today's technology. I would give you the specs of what they're the consoles are alike in comparison to today's gaming PC, I would say an Xbox One probably has around 7770 in a graphics card, and a PS4 has around a 7850. And if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. But those are very mid-range GPUs, and that's supposed to last us for, how long do consoles last? 10 years? Yeah, good luck with that. If anything, that's just showing how consoles are holding gaming back. It's really sad, and there's just not much we can do about it. This is the state of gaming at the moment. My advice would be I don't expect people to not buy their favorite games, but my advice would be to wait till they're on sale. If you can, don't buy them at all, of course, and simply convince other people to do the same. That is about all the power we have, because we are the consumers. We don't buy their games, they don't make their money. They don't make their money because they're doing bullshit tactics and marketing scams. Then maybe they'll change it. We really need to spread the word on this. We really need to get gaming back. And I'm afraid gaming is going to go somewhere very dark, and it's going to be a very sad decade in gaming.